Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here. Same discussions on Strike Seven Sports. And tonight I got some new news concerning the New Orleans Saints. So if you have not heard by now, the reports coming out of Saints camp down in overseas in London, England, and is that Andy Dalton is expected to be the Saints starting quarterback for when they take on the Minnesota Vikings this Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, down in London, England. So I got a report. The reports were coming out. They kind of, since they're overseas, you kind of get these reports, injury reports, like later, early in the morning, compared to an afternoon when they do them here in the states. But because of Jameis Winston being out with a because of the back injury and the ankle injury, I think he got like a hip issue as well. They decided to shut him down, man. Shut him down for this game against the Minnesota Vikings. I kind of knew something was up on I believe Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, when they didn't see there was a report coming out that nobody Winston was not seen during any of the practice sessions for to prepare for the game against the Minnesota. Second day it was the same story. He wasn't seen, and then third day it's pretty much you kind of everybody kind of get the drift that Winston probably will not see action in this game. So I got a story pulled up by Saints analyst, WWL radio analyst Jeff Novak, and on the report of Winston not playing this Sunday against Minnesota. Dennis Allen tends to carry a smoke screen with him into the weekend, but the starting QB picture looks pretty clear. Andy Dalton will line up under center when the Saints take on take the field across the pond. When Jameis Winston missing a third straight practice Friday morning, the head coach said he will be doubtful due to his accumulation of injuries over the past few weeks. Includes a significant back issue as well as an ankle injury. Winston also mentioned a hip issue when he spoke earlier this week. Our plan right now is to have Andy Dalton ready to go, Allen said. We'll see how things go overnight. But Andy will be ready to go if that's the plan. If that's the plan that we go. It had been in the plan all week. The team made a concerted effort not to tip their hand. Winston spoke after Wednesday's practice and made it clear he expected to start and be on the field for practice later in the week. He had been limited in the 2 weeks of practices prior. Allen made it clear the decision is medical and not a quarterback change. All right, so there you have it. Those are the words of Saints head coach Dennis Allen, as told, written by WWL Radio Saints analyst Jeff Novak. So there you have it, man. Winston is going to be on the bench this week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm assuming, yeah, pretty much is a go. That Taysom Hill will be Andy Dalton's backup. So there your quarterbacks right there. Winston, if hopefully Dalton doesn't go down in this game. So if Dalton does go down, Taysom Hill will be the starting QB. Both quarterbacks have taken the majority of the snaps in this game. So just give me a second while I pull up my screen. I'm gonna share it with y'all real quick my power slides. Hold on. All right, hold on. That's the wrong one. All right, give me a second. Oh man. All right, there it is. So Dalton, I had this posted on my Facebook, Instagram page. There was the report of Andy Dalton being named projected starter for the Vikings game. I had that on my Instagram page and my Twitter page. Not my Twitter page, my Facebook page for Saint Discussions. So it is what it is, man. Winston, you gotta sit it out, man. And I was told, not well, from what I read, they had to pretty much take him out of the game, pretty much take him out of practice. It wasn't the coach's decision. It was pretty much coming from medical. And what we saw last night with the Dolphins and Tua, and how that went down, and how that played out last week when he took that shot and got a wobbly. He left the game and came back. And what happened yesterday with Tua, we don't need that to happen to James. Pass protection already is looking a little shaky as it is. So it's best that he sit it out, man, and sit it out, get well, recuperate. Hopefully, man, he can work on those things that have pretty much hindered him during his time understanding the season, as far as him recognizing blitzes, working the short to intermediate passing game, do all those things that make this offense difficult to stop. It's unfortunate that it's happened, but he needs the rest, man. I was hoping that it didn't come to this, but hey, man, it is what it is, man. Dalton's a veteran in this league, man. He's been in this league a while. Played in a lot of games. Was a long time starter for the Cincinnati Bengals. Been to the playoffs a few times. I think the Bengals won the division while he was a quarterback. I think it was 2015. They've been to the postseason under Marvin Lewis, so he knows what it takes to get it done. You know, and I believe that Dalton is could do some things in this offense, some special things. Based on what I've seen from him in his career, throughout his career, I think he's at his best when he is protected as a quarterback. He's a better quarterback when he has a good offensive line, has some weapons on the outside to throw with. I think he could be a dangerous QB in this offense for right now. And I don't know what going forward in the future, but for right now, I think he's pretty good. And also, last year in Dallas and Chicago, man, it was just awful in my opinion. The year that he played, took over for Dak Prescott, didn't really have that offensive line wasn't at its best. You know, and that pretty much caused him to struggle with the Cowboys. And he still had a solid year. They still had the Cowboys in the competition for a playoff spot. Even that division was so terrible that year. And last year with the Bears, man, it was just awful, man. It just you lack of weapons on the outside, and you already know the Bears got to have a work in progress offensive line. You know, but it is what it is, man. James is better for James to sit this one out, man, and let's see what Andy Dalton can do in this game. So next slide, I'm gonna share. That's the injury report right there, man. It's so far. Well, I think it's the final injury report, but you got Michael. Three Saints will be out for this game against the Minnesota Vikings. There's Michael Thomas out with a foot injury. Andrew Speed out with a concussion. Marcus May safety out with a rib injury. Jameis Winston is doubtful, but he's going to be out for that game. Back and ankle injury. Alvin Kamara questionable with a rib. Jarvis Landry questionable with an ankle. So I think out of the questionable guys on this list, I think both of them going to play. Or both of these guys are going to play. I think Jarvis Landry is going to play, and I think Alvin Kamara is going to see some action in this game. The good thing is you don't have, in my opinion, it's good that you get to see Landry and Olive and Marquez Callaway playing this game. I think we're gonna see a lot from Marquez Callaway in this game. And also you got Traquan Smith, who was starting to warm up, man, and in last week's game had 100 yards receiving. Fortunately, he had to leave the game due to a concussion, but apparently he's cleared the concussion protocol from based on everything I've read. So he will be expected to go this Sunday against Minnesota. Landry, hopefully, he can get on the field. I think he's going to play. Kamara is another great addition to this offense, and hopefully, we can see some of those passes going to Alvin Kamara in this game. Some of those quick start passes that you see from that you usually see in the past that goes to Kamara in this game that can help this team out. Playmaker on this offense coming out of the backfield. And hopefully Adam Trautman could get involved as well. We haven't really seen a lot of action from the tight ends this season. That's mainly due because of Winston, man. I'm not placing blame here or anything like that, but he just hasn't been he hasn't used the best of his ability to run his offense so far. And that's maybe it's because of the injury, and maybe some of it is because of him, his own doing, and part of it could be some of it is a part is because of the bad pass protection. All right, I'm back, man. I'm back, man. Apologize for that. I had some technical difficulties dealing with my internet. Jay Hilson on Facebook says, "What up? Who that? What's up, man? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on to the show. Showing your support, man. Appreciate that. Let me put my screen back up here again, man. My power slide show. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so Dalton is named the starting QB this week, and I hope he does well, man. I hope he does well. I hope the offensive line protect him to where he doesn't have any you know serious injuries, turning the football over, taking concussions, getting carried out of the game like Tua did. Hopefully that don't happen, man. Greg says, "Who that? Let Andy, let go. Let's go, Andy." Yeah, I agree, man. But they got to get going, man. The Saints got to get going, bro. They should be 3-0 right now, man. In my opinion, the Saints dropped two games to two division opponents, man, and hopefully this stuff doesn't catch the Saints down the road when they're trying to fight for a playoff spot, similar to how they did last year when they lost to the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons, two teams that they were clearly better against, clearly better than, but then yeah, they lost the game. So they need to show up in these next couple of games, man. So with that being said, these are the Saints' next 5 games right here. Minus the Minnesota game. After Minnesota, you come back to the United States, to New Orleans to play the Seattle Seahawks. After that is the big game against the Cincinnati Bengals, which is also the homecoming for Joe Burrow. He'll be returning to the Superdome to play. He was a part of the LSU Tigers 2019 national championship team that won the title. He'll be returning back him and Jamar Chase, and also there are some former Saints that played that are now part of the Bengals. Von Bell, Trey Hendrickson, Eli Apple, who nobody can't stand. So it's gonna be a big ball game, man. And after that, you got Arizona, you got the Raiders, you got the Baltimore Ravens. You host the Raiders, you host the Ravens, you got the Raiders and Ravens at home, you got Arizona on the road. You host the Bengals, you play at home against the Bengals, and you play at home against the Seattle Seahawks. So with that being said, these 5 games, right? The Saints need to go at least 3-2, 3-2 or 4-1. Because that way, if you win this week against Minnesota, you get 2-2. You win the next 5 games, you go 3-2. That puts you at 5-4, right above 500, man. Because after this Ravens game, if I'm not mistaken, you play against you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, and after that, I think that you really get into the bulk of your schedule. Now these are some tough games right here, man. Few of them are the Bengals and the Cardinals, man. They're games that I got some real concerns about, and these teams are beatable, but you know how the Saints can get sometimes. They have issues with dealing with mobile QBs in the past. You know, you saw how they struggled against the Atlanta Falcons with Marcus Mariota. They have not figured out Jalen Hurts. Um, and Kyler Murray is just as dangerous as you know, a Marcus Mariota or Jalen Hurts. Um, the Seahawks, I'm not really concerned about this game. I'm not really concerned about this game. The Bengals, that's the tough game. Raiders, Ravens. Like I said, you go 3-2 during the stretch. I think you're in good shape. The NFC as a whole playoff race, I think is wide open right now. Nobody is really unbeatable right now. I think any team could be beat. I think the best team in the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion. The Philadelphia Eagles. Rams look pretty good, but I think they could be beaten. They could be beat. Um, Arizona, we don't know not a lot about Arizona yet. I don't think they're a playoff team, to be honest. Seattle's rebuilding, so they gotta pretty much take advantage of this right here, man. They gotta take advantage of this right here. They gotta take advantage of this these 5 teams right here. And you go 3-2, or hopefully you could go 4-1, 4-0. Even it'd be great if you go 5-0, man. Because around that time, around mid October, the Saints going these run in the past. They've gone these runs where winning 7 to 9 games straight. We have seen it done in the past. We didn't see that last year because of the injuries and issues at certain positions. Alvin Kamara missing time. No Michael Thomas for the remainder of the season. You lose your starting QB. So we didn't really see the Saints going that deep run like we've seen in the past where they win, like I said, 9 to 10 games straight. Hopefully we can get back to that this season with these next slate of opponents. We got also there's the game against the LA Rams that will be in the Superdome. Hopefully by the time the Saints get to that game, it'll mean something. The Saints will have something to play for. They have, playoff. They still have playoff aspirations. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, man, they just gotta figure out who they are on offense, man, because I would hate to see this team, waste a good defense. We still got guys in the prime of their career. Marshawn Lattimore is playing lights out right now. Dude is, I think he's a top five corner in the league right now. But a lot of people, even a lot of followers of the Saints, don't really view him in that aspect. But I disagree. I think he's a top five cornerback, and even I think in regards to overall player, I think he's a top 10 talent, a top 10 talent in regards to the position. So they need to move with a sense of urgency going forward, man. It's crunch time already. It's week 4 and the season looks like it's on the line right now, in my opinion. They need to win this game against Minnesota. They cannot afford to go um to 1-3 on the season. And if they do lose this game against Minnesota and fall to 1-3. That's a bad sign. That's just a bad sign for the Saints as a playoff team. Going forward, because in the past, history has shown us that when they start off the season 1-3, 1-4, and have to climb to get back to 500, the chances are they're not going to the playoffs. We saw this in 2014, 2015, 2016, 3 straight years. They started off, I think, 1-3, 1-4, and had to climb all the way back to get to 500. And then once they go 4-4, they have that they have that big game that they should win. They need to win, but they don't win, and they fall to 4-5, and then the season just spirals out of control after that, and they fall to 7-9. You know, 3 straight years of that from 2014 to 2016. More like 4 years, 4 straight years. But hopefully, man, they get things going. If they start off like 1-2, 0-2, they start winning games. That's a sign that they're a playoff team. But last year they started off pretty good at 5-2, but we know what happened. With the injuries. So we'll see how everything plays out. All right, so about to close the stream down here, but you can follow Saint Discussions on Strike Seven Sports on the following platforms. Facebook is at Saint Discussions, Twitter at Saints DS23, IG Saints Discussion, and the website, our webpage is strike7sports.com/Saints. So I update that page, you know, once or twice a week, or even more. Depends on the workload. Depends on the news cycle of what's going on with the Saints. Because outside of the Saints, there's other topics that are covered on the Strike Seven Sports website, like the NFL, the NBA, other topics, boxing. But I try to update that page as much as possible with analysis, breakdowns, Saints news, rankings, mock drafts, things like that. But just bookmark that page to your browser. It's strike7sports.com/Saints. It's for the latest content in the New Orleans Saints organization. I might have a game preview posted on the site tomorrow. Where I actually focus in on the game itself against Minnesota, and go over some things like what they need to do to win against the Minnesota Vikings. Um, the players they need to focus, players from Minnesota that they need to focus on, things like that. But let's stay posted, man. And I'll be back probably this Sunday or possibly tomorrow to break down this game. So that's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel about Andy Dalton starting against this Sunday against Minnesota. Also check out strike7sports.com/Saints. For latest content in the New Orleans Saints organization, have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out. Who that?